Hey everybody, welcome to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. And this time out, we're going to take a look at yet another plugin by the company OverLoud. This is called the Comp G. This is a take on the SSL famous G bus compressor. We're going to take a listen to it on a full mix here and kind of let you listen to the Comp G here and see what you think. And then towards the end of the video, we'll compare it to another famous SSL G series bus compressor by another plugin company. But before we get to that, if you like what you see in this video, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new content. Also go out to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com and get your 5 free mixing training courses. Again, that's 5 free courses just for you visiting HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. And if you want to learn the craft of mixing in a very non-technical way, make sure you head on over to mixingmadeeasy.net. All the links are in the description box below. So now let's head on into the DAW here and let's take a look at the Comp G. So we're going to walk through the features of this plugin. It's a pretty standard bus compressor, and then we're going to listen to it. So let's take a walk through. So nice. First thing I'll say right out of the gate is, again, OverLoud makes some nice large size GUIs, so they look really good on the screen. They're easy to read, which a lot of plugin companies did this. You have no way to adjust the size of it, which is a shame, but it's still big enough anyhow. Over here we have our threshold, we have our attack time, our ratio, our release, and our makeup gain. Pretty standard for a bus compressor. Over here we have our metering, where we can meter gain reduction, the input or the output. Now down below here is where we have some of the more unique features to this particular plugin that you don't see on any other or many other SSL G series bus compressor plugins. We have our gain input here, which allows us to go ahead and push some more gain into the plugin if we want to saturate it a little bit. We have a stereo mid-size toggle. When we click on mid-size, you'll see the other section comes up here. We have a side chain here, high pass filter. We also have a parallel knob, which is really handy for parallel compression. We can either be 100% compressed, which is how we're going to listen to it today, or we can dial back in some of the dry signal if you want to do kind of a parallel compression thing. And then we have our output here as well. Pretty simple. We can bypass it by clicking on this button right up here at the top left. And then we have a bunch of presets here, which I picked one and tweaked it, but there's a bunch of cool presets here to help you get started. So first we're going to bypass this. Let's listen to this on a full mix. Again, this is a full mix. All the plugins have been put on it. This was part of, I believe, one of the mixes that we used over at mixingmadeeasy.net. Again, if you want to check that out. Fairly small session, excuse me. We have a drum kit, bass, acoustic guitar, a couple of electric guitars, a vocal, and a background vocal. So let's listen to this with no bus compression. Again, we have full plugins on this. We're going to shut off this one as well. This is the SSL version of this. We have our fab filter. We have a couple of a stereo widener by Universal Audio on here. We got the Waves G bus compressor, which we've turned off and bypassed for this demonstration, so we don't need to worry about that. And then along the tracks, we have we're using the SSL plugin channel strip by Plugin Alliance across the entire mix. Okay, so here we go. So let's open this up. Here is with no bus compression whatsoever. Here's what the mix sounds like. Here's a sample.
Just like a steam train locomotive, oh, she's coming around the bend. She doesn't have any destination. Those railroad tracks never come to an end.
Okay, and here it comes.
We moved down to Memphis in July of 2010. We had our sights set on the family forever. Wound up lost out in the desert somewhere. Anytime, anywhere, it's Annabelle. Oh, I think I see her.
Okay, so I'm just using the preset called Gentle Touch, which would kind of allude to kind of a light compression, which is what we're kind of doing. And I've kind of tweaked it a little bit. So I'm using a 10 millisecond attack time, a 2-to-1 ratio, the fastest release, a little bit of makeup gain, and I'm only compressing about, I don't know, 3 or 4 dB at its highest points. I'm using a full compression, none of the dry signal turned in at all. We're not using the sidechain high pass filter. This is just straight up. Here we go. And then what I'll do is I'll also bring in a little bit more compression just so you can hear it a little exaggerated, so you can kind of hear the audible difference over YouTube here. So again, here's with our current settings.
In the rivers, but when I dive into the water, there's no one there. And I've been singing. I've been singing those same sad love songs I've been running away from time and
Okay, so we're doing about 5 to 7 dB of compression here. It's a little exaggerated. It's really colorful. It adds a lot of nice mojo to this mix. But what I like about this particular plugin is that even when it's a little over compressed, and that's kind of what we're doing here. If you listen to like the kick and the snare, it doesn't sound like it's being smashed too much. Again, I would probably dial back the compression a little bit. So it's maybe just 2 dB or so, just to kind of kiss it on a bus compressor or something like this.
Just like a steam train locomotive, oh, she's coming around the bend. She doesn't have any destination. Those railroad tracks never come to an end. But we moved down to Memphis in July.
So that's in a much more subtle way, but it's still very, very musical, which I really like. And now you can even, you know, go to something like maybe a 30 millisecond attack.
2010. We had our sights set on the family forever, wound up lost out in the desert somewhere. Anytime, anywhere, it's Annabelle, Annabelle. Oh, I think I see her in the rivers, oh, when I dive into the water.
So as you pull back the attack and make it a little faster, it tends to squash a little bit more. Obviously, that would happen. This particular SSL kind of bus compressor, I always found the sweet spot, is somewhere around 10 milliseconds. That's kind of the sweet spot to where you're not over compressing, but you're still adding some nice color.
There's no one there, and I've been singing.
And that's before. Okay, sounds really, really good, really musical. Now let's go ahead and just for, you know, just to compare here, let's shut this one off here. Let's open up the waves. Here's the Waves famous. This is a famous plugin. Everyone has this plugin. It's been around a long time. Again, I've pretty much set it to the same settings, 2:1 ratio, 10 millisecond attack, fastest release time, just a touch of makeup gain. Let's see if we can get about the same amount of compression here. I'll turn this on, and then maybe what we'll do, we got this pinned here. We can just oh, I don't want that one. Oh, sorry. We can kind of go ahead and we can compare the two just to hear the difference. Okay, here we got both of them up here now. This is the one that most people have used for years and years and years, the SSL by Waves. This is great. So what I'll do is I'll just put it kind of side by side here, and we'll start with the Waves. Okay, I got the OverLoud turned off at this point. Let's see if we can get about the same amount of compression.
I've been running away from time and time again. Oh, I woke up this morning just like a steam train locomotive. Oh, she's coming around the bend. She doesn't have any destination.
And not as colorful, I feel, as the OverLoud. Let's turn off this Waves here. Here's the OverLoud.
Those railroad tracks never come to an end. We moved down to Memphis in July of 2010. We had our sights set on the family forever, wound up lost out in the desert somewhere. Anytime, anywhere, it's Annabelle, Annabelle.
Very, very similar, obviously. I feel like the OverLoud has a little bit more depth to it, to my ear again, but it's very, very close. Is it head and shoulders above the Waves? No, I wouldn't say it's head and shoulders above the Waves. But what I like about this one is it has a little bit more depth to it. It's a little bit nicer, gooey here. And you have the additional features of using the parallel compression, the side chain, and that sort of thing, which you don't get on the Waves. Now remember, the Waves plugin has been around for ages. It's an older plugin, where this is a much more newer plugin as far as the technology G goes. So I kind of, you know, in this particular competition, I would pick the OverLoud over the Waves, but the Waves is a really good plugin as well. So again, you could go out to OverLoud's website and you can demo this for 15 days for free. That's what I'm doing. You can see this is a full feature demo. This is not a sponsored video. They have not contacted me. I'm not doing this on their behalf. A student of mine turned me on to this company and I wanted to check out some of their plugins and bring them to you. So if you don't have an SSL bus compressor and you're not sure which one to buy, this is one to check out. Go demo it for 15 days for free and the links will be in the description box below. So I want to thank you for watching this video and taking a look at the Comp G by OverLoud. Again, hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell, and once again, go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Get your 5 free mixing training courses. It's worth $110. It's my gift to you just for visiting homerecordingmadeeasy.com. And as always, check out mixingmadeeasy.net. And until the next plugin review, I've been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care.